What to know if you're heading out on the roads in these winter conditions. We'll have live looks with our 5 News Storm Chaser.
An extreme cold warning across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley for this morning. We're going to talk about when we finally start to warm up, coming up in just a bit.
And a local blood center facing a major shortage, how the winter weather is impacting their supply. But first, a live look outside in Rogers here on this Thursday. Traffic moving along. 5 News This Morning starts now.
Live on 5 News and streaming on 5+. This is a weather impact alert.
Well, hey, good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here. Now, a lot of those major roads you're going to find sort of cleared away, but the secondary roads, on-ramps, off-ramps, those still need some attention.
Oh, yeah. Our back road leads to our neighborhood. So our neighborhood was kind of a nightmare. That back road was tough. And then that ramp. But after that, things were pretty good on the highway.
Yeah, still got to keep that in mind as you're heading out today. And even, I think, state offices opening up at 10:30. So a bit of a delay there going. And we're worried about the cold this morning, Stephen, because these temperatures, record-breaking.
Yeah, record-breaking for today when it comes to what the actual temperature is outside for northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We broke those records today. But what you care about, what you feel outside, is that dangerous cold. Wind chill values northwest Arkansas right now really concerning, anywhere around -15 out there right now. -11 there in Huntsville, -13 in Fayetteville. So again, this is the type of cold. Hats, gloves, coats, cover up that skin as best as possible. Across the River Valley, a little bit warmer, but not much better. Still -5 there in Van Buren, -3 in Fort Smith, and -3 there in Ozark. Those kiddos going back to school there in Fort Smith this morning need to bundle up. Hats, coats, gloves, all of it as you head out the door this morning. Take a look at those wind chill values in northwest Arkansas. -9 there in Berryville, -14 in Springdale, and -5 in Rogers. So again, this is that bitter cold, but the good news is this is the coldest point. From here on out, we're going to see some warmer air even as soon as this afternoon. Extreme cold warning continues across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. This replaced what used to be that wind chill warning. It's just as cold, though, just a different wording for it. Northwest Arkansas, the rest of the day today. Good news is we are going to see some sunshine. That should help the melting process. But when it comes to what it feels like, the peak we'll hit today is just right around 10 degrees this afternoon across the River Valley. The good news is that sunshine going to help that melting process. Wind chill values feel like we get into the low 20s by the time we get to this afternoon. Lots of sunshine breaking out today. We get warmer every day through the weekend into early next week. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, thanks so much for that, Stephen. All right, we're going to take a live look outside right now. We want to check on those road conditions, give you an up-close and personal look.
Yeah, reporter Kayla Davis is joining us now. Kayla, we want to know where you're at and what it's looking like out there.
Tiffany, we are currently in Rogers heading southbound on I-49, coming up on the Wagon Wheel exit. And I hate that we just missed the sunset for you guys, y'all. It was so beautiful, but it's past us now. But yes, we are heading back towards Springdale, and sunrise, excuse me. And like you can see, the roads are pretty much clear for the most part. Obviously still making sure to drive with some caution because you never know where you could see that black ice, but you just saw that car kind of fly right past us. So it's really, okay, I want you to take a look at this exit 76. That's where you're gonna see more of the snow and ice buildup. It's really more so these main roads that they've taken a priority on clearing, and you can even see kind of on the shoulder of this lane that we're in right now where there is a little bit more buildup. It's mainly the center that you can tell that they really prioritize getting that snow and ice up off of the lanes to make sure that you guys are able to drive safely and those school buses are able to get the kids to school safely and soundly. So we will be coming up on the station pretty soon in the next 10 to 15 minutes, and I will see you guys soon.
Yeah, all right, thanks so much for that, Kayla. Great reporting out there. Now, this is a look at the Arkansas Department of Transportation, the map of crews who are out there on the road. They're sending back what they're seeing out there.
Yeah, so all these different colors, they mean different things. The blue lines, that shows areas with snow on the roads, while the pink lines show areas with ice patches, and then those purple lines, those are straight ice on those roads. So remember to just drive with caution if you do have to get out on the roads today. And now we're taking a live look out in Fort Smith. This is on Rogers Avenue. Road's not looking too bad there. It looks like we have a little bit more people out on the road there than in Northwest Arkansas. Joe, you drove through Fort Smith yesterday. How were the roads compared to Northwest Arkansas?
Yeah, it was definitely once that sun hit yesterday, whenever it came out, it sort of melted things away because it hit, just right, clearing the path here for what we're seeing today. So not too bad when you have to take those main interstates, bridges, overpasses to work. You're looking pretty good. All right, let's take a look at some of those school closures for today. These are some right here on your screen, those who have called out for today the third time this week now, but you also have some who are actually going back this time around, but you definitely want to go to 5newsonline.com and check, because some of these schools, they've sort of delayed their buses, or they have, they kind of cut back their bus routes because they can't get to some of those rural areas as of right now.
Yeah, Alma, they're taking a 2-hour late start today, and then Fort Smith, they're going back. So in the River Valley, we're seeing clear roads there for sure.
Yeah, we can send you that full list as well. Just scan the QR code right here. We'll send you those closings and delays.
All right, let's get a traffic update for you this morning. Seen a lot of improvement when it comes to across the River Valley this morning. Again, we had less accumulation, but whatever came froze on those roadways as well. Now here's a look at that beautiful sunrise there over the Arkansas River, crossing over the bridge. I cannot believe the improvement that we've seen over the past 24 hours. Not seeing almost any accumulation on the roadways there. Traffic seems to be moving just fine. And the good news so far all morning long has been no accident reports coming in from Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley. We take a look first across the River Valley. What you see is a lot less of that pink shading, a lot less of that blue shading, meaning that those crews have continued to go over the same areas over and over again, to the point where now we're starting to see a lot of those roadways open up. Just got to get through those neighborhoods and side roads, and then we'll be all clear across the River Valley. Of course, we had a lot less of that accumulation. Northwest Arkansas, different story here, where we have a lot of that pink shading, a lot of that blue shading still, but even those major roadways starting to get cleared up better and better throughout the morning hours. It's the side roads, it's the neighborhoods that you have to worry about, and that will be continued to make some progress as we get more sunlight and those crews continue to do their hard work.
All right, thanks for that, Stephen. Well, the Arkansas Department of Transportation, as Stephen mentioned, they've been doing a lot of hard work out there. So we're talking with Dave Parker with RDOT this morning to kind of get an update on everything they've been doing.
Yeah, they're responsible for those roads being the way they are right now. They've done a great job. And Dave, we just want to check in with you. What can drivers, people who are having to head out this morning, what can they expect? What work still needs to be done?
Interstates are in pretty good shape. You got to get to the interstate, as he just mentioned. The neighborhood roads, city and county, they've got their fair share of work as well. I'm sure they're doing an excellent job also. But for us, the highways, the interstates, will focus, cleaning up those areas. They're in pretty good shape overall. I did notice west of Rogers, for example, 265, still a lot of snow and ice reported there. 71B, for example, the business route there. We got to clean that up today. Those are secondary routes, and then we'll work to the third layer routes. So a lot of progress yesterday. The morning commute, expect bridges and overpasses to be a little tricky, so slow down. Don't hit the brakes, just let off the gas. The exit ramps, same thing. Just let off that gas and you'll be okay. But allow a little more time if you can. Delay things this morning. It's brutal cold. I hope your boss would understand.
And Dave, speaking of the brutal cold, does this make things harder for y'all when it comes to that cleanup process?
Yeah, we made a little progress from 8 p.m. to this morning, but when it's wind chill of -10, -5, you just don't move as quickly out there, so it's tough. A long night for sure. Daylight coming up. Obviously, temperatures will go up a little bit. That's going to help us some, but tough night. The temperature's been really tough on us.
All right, Dave Parker, thank you so much for joining us here this week and sharing this vital information with our viewers. We sure appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at those power outages this morning here in the area. Now, we'll see how many we got here in Carroll County, about 700 and, as I say, 80 to 60, 760 this morning.
Yeah, that number hasn't moved. That's what it was 30 minutes ago when we checked. And then there's 112 without power in Madison County. And so thankfully we don't have more than that. But still, for these people waking up, that's a cold morning to wake up to.
It is. Now, Benton County, you see only just one out. Overnight, that actually jumped to 2,000. Not very long, though. It looks like crews quickly got that back on, so thankfully they'll have, heat this morning. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the wintry weather that has made a bad situation at the Arkansas Blood Institute in Fort Smith. It's made it even worse.
Yeah, the center was already experiencing a big loss of donors because of illness. Now the weather has even caused more blood drive cancellations, which has caused the supply to dip to nearly 1 day.
Our last ditch effort fallback is to reach out to other blood centers across the country and say, hey, do you have any extra product that you might be able to share with us? And we can kind of piece it together, from a bunch of different blood centers. And that's not the case this time, this go around. And the reason being is because everybody's been dealing with the flu.
Well, they say that all types of blood are needed. You can stop by the center at 5300 South U Street to make a donation.